Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for November 16th to the 18th of 2018. All right, so this weekend we have quite a bit shifting and changing. We have Venus going station direct. She's been in retrograde this past month and a half. So maybe on Friday going into Saturday, noticing a bit of a shift of our values. A lot of the stuff that maybe we've been reconsidering regarding our values and maybe relationship stuff as well, starting to move forward. Mercury is going retrograde on Friday into Saturday as well. So the next 3 weeks, great for rethinking things, and most likely the things you've been thinking about lately, now going over that reconsideration process. On Friday, the moon is going to be in Aquarius, so great day as a backdrop for getting in touch with that progressive side of ourself, that true self, wanting freedom and change. Also that way on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the moon does shift into Pisces, giving us a bit of receptivity and intuitive energy, very strong. Also on Sunday, Mars is going to be squaring Jupiter, so we could be feeling a bit hopeful going into the new week, and it could be really good for taking action towards anything we might be a little bit inspired about. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this weekend. We are going to break this down here for each of the days. So here's the moon in Aquarius on Friday, and then shifting from Aquarius into Pisces around Saturday, but mostly on Sunday into that receptive Pisces energy. So looking at this first for Friday, we do have a lot taking place that day. 2 planets changing direction, going station. This is both Venus and Mercury, very personal planets. So lots changing here. On Friday, with Venus, maybe some things starting to move forward with our values, right? Implementing some things perhaps that maybe we've been rethinking, reconsidering regarding our values this past month and a half. And so we could notice that shift, implementing some of the shift of value, our learned values, what we learned about maybe relationships or relating. That's still very much the theme right now, not only with Venus direct, but the sun in Libra. How we can bring a bit of balance and reciprocity, mutuality, things of this nature into our life. And so all of this is starting to move forward. Now, if you did notice any of these things on the back burner, whether it be relationship stuff, maybe finance or resources, or just simply our values in some sense on the back burner, this can also be a sort of now shift and implementation of these things more in the physical realm now that Venus is direct. All right, so do give it time, of course. She's just going to be stationed on Friday, which means we really just want to kind of pause with it and notice what's shifting with those values and what we've learned, and we'll likely notice that stuff moving forward as we get into next week. So with that being said, although that stuff's moving forward, what's now going into a reconsideration is what we've been thinking about. The planet Mercury represents our mind and also our routine as well. So Mercury has been in Scorpio, deeper Scorpio here these past couple weeks. And so the reconsideration will likely be in terms of our deeper values. So great time to start to do this. What matters most to us? What can we learn about ourselves on a deeper level? Right? And uncover those truths. And through that, not only become aware of these things, but maybe write them down, communicate them, right? Really good for becoming aware of and learning about and communicating the depths of life and the truth, whatever that truth is that we're going to be reconsidering during the retrograde. So also good to just kind of pause with matters of what we're thinking about or thinking about implementing, especially if it has to do with work or routine. In fact, we could be over the next few weeks redoing some things that we normally rely on a daily basis. Good to go back and maybe do some maintenance on these things, revisit them, rework them. This is great during the retrograde. And I do want to say that Mercury retrogrades are a really good time for learning, right? We don't necessarily want to just wait during the retrograde. It's good to implement, just implement with the willingness to make mistakes, all right? And the willingness to try new things and to be flexible and adaptive with whatever it is we'll be learning about, because we really do learn through experience in life, and that's a great way of working with the retrograde. All right, so we'll notice that next week in particular, once you gain some momentum, good to just kind of pause with those mental and practical matters. Now, I do want to mention that Mercury is very close to a square with Neptune during this retrograde, so not going exact, but close. And this does represent that there is maybe this bit of idealistic or dreamy mind. And so it's really good to make this constructive. If there's any ideals you become aware of this week, or dreams, anything that the mind's been kind of wandering about, really good to implement this during the retrograde. Work with it constructively, with intention. Also a great time with spiritual development with a square to Neptune. Again, Mercury, the routine, Neptune, spirituality. All right, and then just all in all, just getting a bit of mental peace, surrendering what's outside of our control, and setting intention to live presently and be receptive and accepting of what is. Really good way of working with it. I don't think it's going to be very strong because it's not going in exact contact, but still definitely in the air. All right, so that's a lot there on Friday. Again, the moon will be in Aquarius on Friday, and Saturday as well. So these 2 days, while we have a bit of this shifting taking place, really good for, again, getting in touch with that progressive side to life. Aquarius is all about accessing our individuality, our unique true self, expressing that, and then also from that, seeing where we can be a part of and contribute to things larger than ourselves. So we could be feeling like doing this. Maybe it's spending time with friends. Maybe it's looking at global matters, collective matters. Really good for this kind of progressive, innovative, future-oriented stuff when the moon's in Aquarius. All right, so that's Friday, Saturday, and then shifting into Sunday, the moon then goes into Pisces, and this is the actual gibbous phase of the lunar cycle, where we're likely starting to build some momentum. All right, so we'll likely notice that going into the next week, a bit of momentum being built with Pisces, that receptivity. Likely themes pertaining to this. How can we find peace in life? Listen to our intuition. Let that be our sort of guidance, the inner guidance, guiding us. Creative times, usually really good. Spiritual times, this kind of receptive energy, likely the theme on Sunday. All right, and then Sunday going into next week, although this isn't going to go exact until Monday, Tuesday, but we could certainly feel it, is Mars is going to be squaring up to Jupiter. So this is, even though it's a square, it involves Jupiter, so it usually comes across as quite benefic. Of course, this does depend on your personal chart and how Jupiter's placed for you. But usually with this, it's a bit inspired, maybe hopeful about what we can do or accomplish, right? Mars is the side of ourself that wants to do things, pursue our needs. Jupiter is about the potentials. And so in the square, there can sometimes be a bit of a pendulum swing. It might be inspired one minute, then not inspired the next. Or we may feel lazy about doing certain things because it'll seem like it'll come easy. So we may not do anything about it, but we do want to work with it constructively. So if there is anything you're inspired about or hopeful about, really good to implement that constructively, intentfully through action and initiative. All right, and that'll be especially strong as we get into Monday. All right, everyone, so that is the weekend in a nutshell. A lot shifting here on Friday. Good day to just kind of pause, see where the values are shifting, see what we're going to be reconsidering, give it time through the weekend. Friday and Saturday, great for that future-oriented and progressive side of ourself. Then as we shift into Sunday, great for that receptive side of ourself as we gear up for an early next week of maybe setting some intentions or taking some actions towards some potentials. All right, so everyone, have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all on Monday, the daily forecast. Take care.